Hey, what's up everybody? We are back again, and today, honestly, I just want to have a little bit of fun. I've been covering some pretty serious topics over the last couple months. There's lots of drama going on. There's a lot of skibbity bullshit almost every day of the week, so why don't we turn the skibbity dial up and talk about a rapper known as Lil Macy. Now, if you're unaware of Lil Macy, honestly, I don't know what you're doing with your life because he's one of the greatest rappers to ever live, but you know what? I got you because I actually made an entire video going into his career on my second channel, Twisted Society, so if you want to check that out, be my guest, but I will give you the rundown real quick right here. Basically, Lil Macy is the off-brand Lil Mabu, and honestly at this point talking about Lil Mabu might be a little bit of a stretch itself. Does anybody even remember him at this point? I mean, it seems like he was popping off in early 2024, but in the last couple months I really haven't heard shit about the guy. Maybe I should look into him. But anyways, all of that is besides the point, because what I'm really talking about is the gimmick that Lil Mabu has behind him. Basically, he's a white guy from the suburbs who raps about gangster shit that he never lived in his life. And for one reason or another, that gimmick seems to work over and over again. I mean, we got Slim Jesus, we got 83 Hades, and then we have Lil Mabu. And for all of them, they're able to get a pretty successful career off of rapping about stuff that they don't have any experience with. But Lil Macy is a true visionary because he basically took that entire concept and flipped it. And what did he do to make it so different? Well, he made it even more stupid than it already was.
Oh my god, Mace, you suck! You suck! Oh my god! You're so trash! Stop! You're so trash! You're so trash! You suck! Delete it! You suck!
So the whole concept is, instead of saying that he's sliding on ops and he killed 100 people, instead he's gonna say, I shoot it at the ops and then I did 40 years in jail. That's basically the whole joke. That's the guy's whole career.
Oh, that shit is freaking ass. Me and Ness the Kids music is way gooder, and we have way more money.
And once again, he comes from that new age of meme rappers where they're not trying to say funny stuff on a beat and actually make it sound good. His music sounds bad intentionally, and because of that, I mean, I guess it's funny. I don't really find it funny, but hey, somebody definitely does. Because the dude started making so much money off his TikTok, his Instagram, and his YouTube that he was actually able to drop out of school at 16 and start doing it full time. The rapper dream, baby. And surprisingly, his Spotify is even somewhat popping off. I mean, he doesn't have that many monthly listeners with only 11,000, but he does have 2 songs that are over 1 million streams at this point, which is more than most rappers can say. It's really funny how we're living in a world where people like Miles, who basically go and make noises on a beat, can have a collab with Kanye West and his daughters, and people who are really taking music seriously aren't getting anywhere. I mean, it's funny, but it's also sad. But yeah, it turns out that Lil Macy started to make so much money online through that whole kind of island boy community that he was able to drop out of school at the age of 16, which probably wasn't a good choice in the long run, but hey, he's making money, and he even got a manager. And this manager goes by the name of Kid Ness, or Ness the Kid, I guess. I'm not sure which one it is. And he, funnily enough, isn't a kid. He's actually a 21-year-old man. And yeah, it turns out the guy is actually a rapper himself, and he seems to be quite proud of all his accolades that he's got alongside Lil Macy. Because whether you build your career off of jokes, antics, being friends with 2 dead people, or anything else, before long you will find yourself having an ego. It's bound to happen. And Nestor the Kid over here definitely seems to have an ego, and even worse than that, he's actually been scamming people, which is honestly not surprising. I mean, after all, the money's probably starting to dry up. You gotta scam. Everybody knows you gotta scam, and you're allowed to get away with it too if you have a label. But these 2 fine gentlemen don't seem to have a label, so I think I might be open to be able to speak about this publicly, but if the video goes down, well, fuck, man. I'm not really sure what to do, but let's read out the messages, baby. Now, the other fine gentleman involved in this situation goes by the name of Florida Jit. You might actually know him. He does a bunch of Instagram videos online. He does the whole Jewish money lessons. I'm not sure how poppin' he is, but I at least know who he is. And his whole thing is about investing, being smart with your money, but in this situation, unfortunately, it does seem like he wasn't very smart with his money because he actually wanted to cop a feature from Lil Macy and Kid Ness. Starts off by Ness saying, yo, cop a feature from me and Macy, we'll give you game and get you a TikTok viral song. You trying to blow up, copping features from people who haven't been relevant in years. And honestly, I gotta say that Nestor Cheeto definitely has a very interesting way of trying to sell features by insulting the people that he wants to work with. Because on one hand, he's not wrong. I mean, buying features from irrelevant rappers definitely isn't gonna help you blow up, but at the same time, I don't know if you realize this, this, Ness, but you're also kind of an irrelevant rapper and you need this guy to believe that he actually needs the feature from you. It's kind of like somebody trying to sell you a carrot and being like, you know what, carrots fucking suck. They're not going to help you. They're not going to make you healthier, but this carrot, the carrot that I got, this one's actually going to work. I mean, it's a weird tactic, but I think it might work. And it actually does, because Florida Jit ends up responding by saying, what do you have in mind? I'm still down to get that one from you. So I do believe they had a bit of a conversation before this point. Usually I like to read out all the screenshots, but he ended up sending me like 80 of them, so there's no way that I could read them all out in this video, or it'd be 40 minutes long, and I don't think you guys care that much. But hey, I'm still going to give you the greatest hits right here. You're still going to get all the context, everything you need to understand the full situation, and I know a lot of people are going to say, come on, Twisted, don't be lazy, read it all out for us, but I do have an excuse for that. I'm clinically depressed. Anyways, let's continue. After that, he goes on to say, I'm down. I just want to confirm with Macy that he's cool with it before I send the money. I can send the bread today. Y'all can see I work with other people and paid up. I just want to make sure that everything is straight. And he says, yeah, everything is straight. I run all Macy's socials and we're 50-50 partners on everything. And all I can say about that is if you're doing well and your career is starting to pick up, do not hire on sketchy managers. They're not going to help you out whatsoever. It seems like they might be able to do quite a bit for your career, but in the long run, they're going to end up stealing a bunch of money from you and they're not really going to benefit you in any way. Sometimes it's better to work alone and maybe make a little bit less money, but that way you know that all of the money is coming back to you and you don't have to worry about people taking cuts out of the middle or taking some of it before it ever ends up reaching you. I believe that Macy was only about 16 years old when he got connected to Ness the Kid. He was making all this money off of social media. He was starting to get a lot of fame. He ended up dropping out of school, and I even believe that he lives in the same house as Kid Ness. And of course, at the age of 16, you're not going to know what you're signing up for. I mean, we already got people like AK3K, 83 Hades, and Mako who ended up selling their entire catalogs for like $30,000 at most. So even people who are older are getting taken advantage of. I mean, it's really hard to avoid that type of shit. Basically, the way you got to look at the rap game is that absolutely everybody is going to want to fuck you over 100% of the time. Everybody that you ever meet is going to be out to screw you, and completely stay away from people altogether and become a hermit. I don't want friends, I want oddies, right? That's the way you got to be. Smoke Perp said it the best. Anyways, back to the messages. He says, but if you want to run it, you'd have to lock in now. Just let us know, because $1,000 for me and Macy is nuts. Could you email me the snippet first if you don't mind? He then sends his email. Trust me, I want it. I just want to make sure. Florida Jit is being very precise and careful here. I mean, after all, $1,000 is not a small amount of money, so he definitely wants to make sure that the song at least sounds somewhat good before he gets it. And it really is the simplest thing in the world for them to go over to their laptop, record a little bit of music, and send it to him. I mean, after all, their music isn't even good, so it should be very simple to get it done in like under 10 minutes. 10 minutes of shitty, easy work for $1,000. Can these guys deliver? Well, let's find out. He says, email you a snippet what you mean. I can't like send you the song until you pay, lol, but you see how it sounds? Once money is sent, I'll email it right over. And I mean, does he not know what a snippet is? I mean, all you gotta do is send the guy a 5-second preview of the song to make sure that it actually sounds alright. We're not talking about an unreleased XXXTentacion verse here. We're talking about Little Macy going, scoopity poop, I shot at the ops. It's really not that hard. Jit responds by saying, if it's only for the song, I'll do $600 cash right now, and I'll buy that one on the snippet you sent me. $600 for the song and no promo? Honestly, yeah, I could always buy a promo from y'all in the future if you're down. He says $600 for me and Macy is insanely low, bro. I don't know. $700 right now when we both do an IG and TikTok story, both of us, that's an insane deal. If you make the post today, I'll send the $700 right now. He says, yeah, that's fine. I can guarantee a post on me and Macy's story and on my IG story, but Macy's IG story will have to be on Monday. He says, that's fine. So today I get a post on your IG and a TikTok story and a Macy TikTok story. Just want to confirm. Correct. You got me in writing. If you send the $700 right now, you'll get the full song, TikTok story from both of us, and my IG story all today. I'm gonna send the money. After that, he ends up sending him $700. $700 fucking dollars for a Little Macy feature. I definitely don't think that's worth it whatsoever, but if Little Macy and Kid Ness are actually selling features at that price with the quality of their music, those guys are definitely rolling in it. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel, honestly, that you go to work every day, work as hard as you can, come home, try to record the best quality music that you can in hopes that you blow up, and then these guys go scoopity poop on a beat and end up making $700. Life is truly not fair. There you go. All things considered, that's actually a pretty decent deal. I mean, when you look at it on the outside, it definitely doesn't seem that good. $700 for a pretty bad verse from two pretty terrible rappers. But when you add the promotion onto it, it definitely seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, they got a pretty pop in TikTok, they got a pretty pop in Instagram, and there could be some crossover between Florida Jit's audience and their audience, and it could definitely help them blow up, at least in a minor way. I know from an artist perspective, this all seems pretty crazy, but when you think about the world of Instagram antics and everybody who's involved in it, it might actually help Florida Jit become a name in that world. And I know to many, it doesn't seem like the most respectable way to blow up as a joke online, but hey, if you're able to get yourself famous and start making money online, it doesn't really matter what way you do it as long as you're not hurting anybody else. After that, he says on the TikTok, tag my TikTok, and then he doesn't get a response for a couple hours, so he says, let me know. He says, what's your TikTok at? The floor legit. Thank you, bro. Let me know when it's up. After that, he doesn't get a response for a couple more hours. He says, do you have the beat for the song? Will be a lot easier to extend, and then he doesn't get a response until the next day when he says, let me know, trying to record it today. Now, unfortunately, with the way that these screenshots are, I'm not really able to tell when this conversation started off, but it's now December 30th. I'm not sure how many days later that is. It might be the next day. It could be a week later, but there's no way to really tell. He says, yo, posting now. What should I post? Just a clip of me saying song with you and Mace dropping soon. He says, yeah, that works. Tag me though. After that, on the 31st, he ends up sending the beat saying, yes, sir. They got the Kodak type beat. They got all the Florida boys together. They're going to make the hardest song to ever drop. Everything seems to be going well. And after that, he actually ends up posting the story on his TikTok. So he got the first half of the deal done. But the problem is that he actually ended up tagging the wrong account. He says, follow through on the DOG. He says, post it. Thank you, but that's the wrong account. It's actually the floor legit. And I'm not going to lie, it actually is a little bit funny how he fucked up something so simple, but I'm not going to lie to you. When I used to post music on my second channel, I would always post the artist name and then they would hit me up like, no, it's supposed to be a lowercase I. No, it's supposed to be an uppercase E. That shit can get very annoying from a perspective of somebody who's doing a lot of work with a lot of small artists, but yeah, you definitely got to get the tag right, but no big deal, right? But after that, he actually ended up getting it right, posting should me and the TikToker floor legit drop, and honestly, I think I take it back with that promotion being worth it. After all, he only got like 100 likes and 5 comments, 1 share. That's definitely not $700 worth of promo. For $700, I really expected that he should get like 7,000 people watching the story at the very least, but after all, Kid Ness really isn't that popping. It's more so Little Macy who has all the attention on him. And after that, it's actually gonna blow your mind. Kid Ness actually ended up sending the song with Little Macy and himself on the beat. So everything's good, right? I mean, there's no scam here after all. Well, unfortunately, no, because they ended up using a YouTube beat that they can't get the leasing rights for, so Florida Jit is unable to put it out on Spotify. And why does that matter? Well, we already know you can't really make a whole lot of money off of SoundCloud, and the only way that you actually can make money off your music is if it's up on Spotify. So basically, he spent $700 for a throwaway song that he can't even profit off of. And it seems like after that, Florida Jit began to tell people that he got scammed by Kid Ness, which honestly, he kind of did. If nothing else, it is bad business. It is a little bit more sketchy though, and you could probably be on either one of their sides. I really think for people like Kid Ness and Little Macy, who are supposedly making a lot of money and selling features for $700, they probably should be making their own instrumentals or having an on-deck producer, not using YouTube beats. But I mean, after all, what do you really expect out of the two of them? I mean, they are kind of stupid. He says, why are you telling people I scammed you? Literally did everything you paid for. That's odd. Never said you scammed me. Bad business. And you still did not, lol. He says, dog, you fucked me. That producer off the YouTube shady as fuck. I can't even get the leasing rights. He says, bro, you do not need leasing rights. Your last music video got 800 views in a month. You don't make any money for a producer to care about you releasing that song. You might be the oddest person I ever sold a feature to. You bought a feature, I sent it, you posted the promo, and then you thanked me. Then you unsent the message thanking me and tried to expose me to fuck. After that, it seems like Florida Jit wasn't going to be taking this shit lying down, so he ended up posting a story saying, fuck Little Macy, I got a diss track. No one has ever made a diss track like this. First half is a song I bought from Ness the Kid, the scammer. He sold me a song with no leasing rights. Second half is going to be me and a bunch of other people dissing them. Of course, Kid Ness had to respond by saying, you're a nobody and always will be. Me and Macy are the biggest things on the internet right now. We sign $1 million deals. You get 100 likes a post. No one is worried about you. You work at McDonald's and you never made any money from music and you never will. Damn, bro, Kid Ness is coming with all the heat. And honestly, I don't know if that diss track ever ended up dropping, but if it did, then those two definitely got to go back and forth because I think it'd be the goofiest and dumbest beef of 2025. Although I do gotta say, I really can't tell if Kid Ness is playing a character or not because I mean, after all, $1 million deal for Little Macy and you, bro, no, I don't believe you. But you know what? Honestly, I think that only gives more credibility to Ness the Kid because if there's one thing that every rapper in the world does, it's lie about how much money they actually make off of music. So honestly, he's hitting all the right boxes. Big ego, lying about money. Now all you gotta do is sign to Empire Records so you can basically silence any criticism about you online altogether. I mean, dude, that's what you gotta do. That's what rappers do. But yeah, unfortunately after that, Ness the Kid ended up blocking Florida Jit, so there's not gonna be any more back and forth. And all I can say is Ness, unblock him and go back and forth with him, god damn it. You already fell off at this point and Florida Jit is on the come up, maybe. I mean, I don't know. All I can say is that these meme rappers have more balls than half of the people in the trap metal community. If they end up getting in a fight, they act like little girls hiding behind the scenes, not wanting to talk talk in the public, but when meme rappers get into it, they make diss tracks, baby. Oh, but shout out to Sinister for making that Mako diss track. Honestly, that was pretty cool. But with all that said, yeah, that's Kid Ness versus Florida Jit. What do you think? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Knife Gang, leave them knife emojis in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. By the way, I just want to add a little bit more context onto the video here at the end. I talked to Florida Jit, and he said that he never ended up getting half of the promo that he paid for. He did end up getting that TikTok story post with the wrong tag on it. But as far as him getting any promotion on any of Little Macy's pages, he never got that. And after all, Little Macy is the one who actually has clout. So if he didn't get that, then he basically did get scammed on that $700. But yeah, that's the end of the video for real now. Kid Ness, lead us out, buddy. Let him know what you got to say.
Yeah, they did kidnap you. I'm your real dad, and my sister's your mom. We gave you up because we didn't like because you were kind of a niglet.